Hey everyone, welcome. My name is Lindsay Tompkins, and I am the social media trainer with Belinda Ellsworth and Step Into Success. And we are so excited to partner with Essential Bodywear to bring you the latest training in virtual parties. Today we are going to go through what we like to call our 7-step virtual party system. Virtual parties are a really great way for you to add additional stream of income to your business every single month. Whether you're dealing with hosts or customers who live far away or who don't want to do an in-home bra fitting, or because you just prefer to build your business on social media, this training is for you. Now, the really cool thing is, too, you can take this training and apply it to any platform. You can use this for Facebook parties, Zoom parties, or any other party platform that you would prefer to use. What else is great about this is because it can work on any platform, this strategy can truly stand the test of time. So no matter what changes Facebook makes or Instagram makes, you can still use this basic strategy to apply to any platform that you're working with. So let's go through what the 7-step virtual system is. Number one, we're going to talk about, of course, how to secure a virtual party. Number two, we're going to talk about some of the different areas where you can host this virtual event. Number three, and this is going to be where we spend a lot of our time as well, is on host coaching. It is vital to the success of your virtual event that you learn how to coach your host for success. We're going to talk about scheduling virtual fittings, prepping for the party, what to do the night of the party, and another area that we're going to spend a lot more time on together is how to close the sale. So before we get into that, why do we need to pay attention to virtual parties? I mentioned a few examples earlier, but let's get into it a little bit deeper now. Like I mentioned, it's an additional stream of income to introduce to your business. Whether you are looking to meet new people or you want some more passive income, maybe you have maxed yourself out on how many in-home events you would like to do. This is a really great way for you to bring in additional streams of income. Especially, we always need to do the business the way that our customers want us to. So it's important that as a business owner with EBW, that you at least know how to work your business in multiple ways. Virtual parties can also help you attract new representatives. Typically, people will work the business the way that they came into it. So if you are looking for some more people on your team that are really social savvy, a great way to attract those people to your business is to become social savvy yourself. Learning to host virtual online events is a really great and easy way to attract more of those types of people to your business. It's also an amazing service to offer to people who don't want to host in-home bra fittings and for those who cannot attend. I like to call this the after party. Anytime you are meeting with a group of people or clients in person, they always have friends and family who couldn't show up that night. And while we can, ask our host to reach out to them or ask if they'd like to place any orders, hosting a virtual event the day after an in-home bra fitting can be a really great way for you to encourage additional sales to add to your host party. It's also a perfect solution to generate sales while you're on vacation or during bad weather seasons. It's important that, like I mentioned, we're learning to work our business in multiple ways so that we can survive different things that are going on. Maybe you are in the hospital or you're sick, or maybe you even just broke your leg. Those things can really deter you and stop you from growing your business, especially if you can't get out and about. So learning how to do virtual events will really help you in order to still be able to bring in sales and income every single month. It's also a fun, exciting, and safe way to introduce the product to women. So what I mean by this is we know that what we do is super intimate with our clients. And we offer such an amazing experience because we are taking women outside of the change rooms at department stores with harsh lighting and with consultants there and people who work there that don't necessarily know what they're doing and they don't necessarily know how to fit people in a bra. So we know the service that we're offering, and we're creating safer spaces in the home versus putting them on display in a change room in front of other women. However, you still may run into women who feel a lot of shame around being around their friends. Typically, we are actually our most fearful around our friends. So it's really important to offer additional ways. If somebody is saying no to a home party, you don't want to just move on from them. You want to learn how to overcome that objection. And one way is by hosting a virtual event with them. And lastly, it's a secondary means of follow-up within your VIP group. Each and every single one of us should hands down be utilizing VIP groups for our business. It is the number one strategy that Facebook is pushing. They want more communities of people talking and engaging authentically with each other, and our groups are amazing for this. And I see a lot of people create really successful and engaging groups, but they still aren't gaining a lot of sales or income from it because they're leaving out the sales aspect. Making sure that you are doing a virtual event, even within your VIP group, is not only a great way for you to get additional sales every single month, it will really help you with your follow-up. Now, it's by no means to replace your personal follow-up, but especially during those months where you're really busy or maybe you're a bit behind on reaching out to some of your customers, it helps you keep in front of their face at all times and being able to service them. So now that we know why we need to be having virtual events and parties, how do we secure them? Well, number one, I want you to make a list of the friends, family, and customers who live far away from you. These are going to be some of your best virtual hosts. People that maybe you've done virtual fittings with, or maybe they attended a party or trade show while they were out of town. These are people that you want to make sure that you reach out to and let them know that you are now offering this amazing service. Like I also mentioned, it's a response to an objection for a home party. We know that typically when people say no to a home party, they have the fear that no one will come, and they're afraid of what you will think about them. So in order to help get them in front of the product and help them introduce you to their friends, offering a virtual event can be a really great way to still secure a booking on your calendar. Of course, it's an option for your social savvy friends. So people that you know, maybe you're part of a mom group or a networking group or even a group for small business owners on Facebook. You know, because they're on Facebook, that they're social savvy and they like spending time there. These people will be great hosts for your virtual parties. Like I also mentioned, it's a service for women who feel shy and unsafe. So maybe people that you've reached out to in the past that have been a little leery on meeting you in person or doing fittings in a home style event, maybe where they're around some of their friends. This is something that you can offer to them as well, so that they can stay in the comfort of your own home and everything can be done virtually. And the after party. This is really important because you always want to learn how to maximize every single event and essentially double up your sales. Every in-home event should have a virtual party element. That way you can reach people who could not attend. In the same token, if the people live in your area and they're still choosing to host a virtual event, I always suggest to double up here as well. Typically, if they're saying no, like I mentioned, it's because they're afraid that no one will show up. So what you can do is, say you decide to host the virtual party on a Wednesday, you can let your hosts know that on Friday or even the day before on Tuesday, you pop over with some of the products so that you can fit them personally. They can see other things that we offer. And while you're there, she can just invite over a friend or two who's also interested in touching and feeling and seeing the product. Typically, the sales that you get from that little what ends up being an in-home party experience can be higher than any sales that you get from your virtual event. So it's always really important to learn how to double up and use both of these services in tandem with each other. Okay, so now that you have a party secured on your calendar, where are you going to host this virtual party? As I mentioned at the beginning, it can really happen wherever you want. We didn't want to get super specific with training you on one platform or one way to do this, because we know that preferences may differ across the entire company, and social media is constantly changing. New apps, new programs, new websites are always developing and emerging, and we wanted to make sure that you had training that you could apply to any area. One place that you can host virtual events, which has been extremely popular in the past, is within Facebook events. So you can set up a Facebook event through either your personal page or your business page to host for your parties. Just a tip, if you do decide to set up an event through your business page, this event will be public. If you want to keep it closed, which I do suggest that you do, I would run that through my personal page. Currently, Facebook is making a lot of changes to events, so I do believe that it will continue to become a place there where we choose to host these. But right now, there are a little bit of tricks there. We can't schedule posts and events currently. Sometimes it can be hard to find the actual feed or the wall of the event. So I do know a lot of people that have been turning to Facebook groups, which is number 2. So you can use Facebook groups where you set one up specifically for your host, and she can invite her friends there. Now, there have been some changes to Facebook. You can no longer forcefully add people to groups, which is a really, really great thing. However, it means that they will have to accept an invite where that's not the case in the event. So during the host coaching, you'll really want to make sure that you let your host know that she needs to tell her friends that they have to accept the invite in order for them to see the content that's in the group. Facebook, like I mentioned, is really pushing groups. They've even developed a news feed that is just for groups, which means that it may be a lot easier for your customers to find your group. So that may be an option that you decide to use most often. You can also use your VIP group. This is more for that monthly virtual event that you're going to host. You can do this in 2 ways as well. You can do it directly in the VIP group. So you can just go hop on live there and run your party that way, directly inside of the group, or you can create an event in the group to keep it separate. It's completely up to you. It depends how you want to run your group. I've seen it done both ways. I've done it both ways in my own group. I've had success with both of them, but I do seem to find that when I just do things directly in my group, I get more visibility, especially over time. We know that the number one amount of views of our lives come from who? From replay viewers. So you want to make sure that your video and your content lasts longer. So people maybe who are out of town or they're busy that night, even a few days or a week can go by and they'll still see your content. Quite frequently in my own Facebook group, I see people commenting on videos that are even almost 10 months to a year old. So keeping that content in your group may be a really great way for them to stumble upon products that they didn't necessarily know about. You can also choose to use something like Zoom or Squee or any other platform in order to host your virtual events. So before, when I was actually in the field, before Facebook Live ever came around, I actually used Zoom to host my virtual events. The reason being, I knew that 5 to 10 day Facebook parties with just graphics or pre-recorded video weren't working. I was getting nowhere near the amount of sales at my virtual events that I was getting at my home parties. So I knew that I had to take what was working at my home party and learn how to translate that into a virtual event. That's when I decided to use Zoom so I could hop on live and actually engage with my guests. I knew that better than any graphic, I was the one that sold my product. And I saw a lot of success with this because people were able to see me in real time, engage, and interact with me. Now that there's Facebook Live, if I was still in the field, I'd probably choose just to do it in an event or a group like majority of the industry is doing. However, it is something great to always try out, especially if you feel like Facebook as a platform isn't really working for you lately. As I mentioned, this strategy is perfect for any platform that you want to apply it to. So if you have more questions about that and you want to hear more testimonials, be sure to reach out to your leader and ask them where they've seen the most success. Okay, so now we are into the third step of our 7-step system, and that is virtual host coaching. We have created a checklist for you of this entire 7-step experience, and there's a lot more included on it about host coaching. So make sure that every time you're hosting a virtual event, you print that sheet out and you follow along. First, you want to be able to make sure that your host knows that they need to use text or email communication to the entire guest list, letting them know the process. We need to make sure that our hosts are personally messaging her friends so that we are getting more engagement and more people showing up. We absolutely cannot rely on social media anymore to push out notifications. If you even want to talk to them as a group, make sure that you have your host message her friends and say, hey, my consultant is going to create a group chat just to keep us up to date on some of the things about this event that we're hosting together. Don't be overwhelmed, just so you know that this is what the group chat is, just so she can easily communicate with us. Group chats can be really helpful when we're communicating with our guests. However, they can also be overwhelming as well. So make sure to talk to your host and have her talk to her guests. If her guests are against group chat, then you'll definitely want to reach out to them one-on-one, as well as encourage the host to do the same. You don't want to just rely on any platform, whether you're working with something like Facebook or something like Squee or Zoom, to do the work for you. That is the big misconception when it comes to social media, that it's just one click of a button and you're going to see instant success. That is absolutely not true. When it comes to virtual events, we need to do just as much work as we're doing at our in-home parties. Sometimes it's even more work. So it's important that you teach your host how to personally message her friends and to include the link to where the party is being held, whether that's the Facebook event or the group or somewhere else. Even if you're choosing to host on something like Zoom, you'll want to probably set up an event or group anyway in order just to keep that communication going and get them really excited about the process. The next thing that you're going to do with your host is to set up a Facebook event or group to host it. So this is obviously if you're going to typically use Facebook, but as I just mentioned, I would still do this if you're hosting outside of the social media platform, because most people spend time where? On social media. Nobody's going to hang out on a third-party platform waiting to hear from you about your event. They will only ever get to that link because you have instructed them to, and you have continuously marketed that link. If they're on social media already, it's a really great place for you to be. So make sure that you set up that group or event with your host. Let her know how it's going to be set up so that she knows how to participate in it. My tip is to always make sure that this is set up in advance before you start adding people. That way they won't show up to an empty party. It's like hosting an open house at your home and inviting people over before you've put out any of the food or any, different activities that you're planning to do together. They're not going to stay and engage if there's nothing there for them to engage with. When you're creating an event, you can make the host a co-host of the event. So she still has the same responsibilities, or at least the same permissions that you do on the event. And then when you're setting up a group, you do have to add one person to it before the group can go live. I suggest that you make this your host, but let her know that you'll be doing that, and you'll be doing that during your host coaching with her. You'll also want to help her out by sending some scripts to her to send to her friends. She won't always know what to say, and if there's important information that you need her guests to know, make sure that you coach her on this. However, you want to be careful about too detailed of scripting. It's better to give her a template or a script with a lot of holes in it that she can fill in, or even just sending her over some bullet points of what you would like her to send to her friends. Facebook is very picky now about us using copy and pasted scripts or the same language or photos over and over again. This is the number one reason why people are ending up in Facebook jail, specifically in direct sales, and it's because of virtual parties and events. And that's because most of us are utilizing templates and the same scripting. We're hosting multiple parties at a time, so we can really run into a lot of trouble there. So it's important that you show her and tell her exactly what you need her to convey, but you tell her to do it in her own style and to talk to her friends just like she normally would. Many of us, I'm sure, have received messages from some of our closest friends that we've known for years, and we can tell right away, just because they're hosting a home party or something from direct sales, that this has been a script that has been given to them, because it sounds absolutely nothing like our friend. Tell her it's a very casual, fun event. It's just a way for her and her friends to get together online, to shop, get virtually fitted, and find out all about EBW. So make sure that she knows what to send, but to send it in her own way. You also want to go over with her engagement rules and tips for pre-party and during the party. The main one being that you absolutely need your host to engage on all of the posts that you do. When the host isn't engaging, her friends likely won't either. So it's really, really important that she knows that she actually has to show up. I remember that I've heard so many stories during interviews with consultants across the industry where they've told me that during their virtual parties, the hosts haven't even showed up, or they've scheduled them on days where they're busy because they assume, well, the consultant's going to be doing all of the work, the stylist will be doing all the work, so it's not a big deal. I don't need to show up there. This is just a way for my friends to see some product. And they're not committed. Even though this is your business and you're going to be doing majority of the work, your host is your partner for the night. And in order for it to be successful, she needs to know from the beginning that you're going to work together on it. But in order for her to take it seriously, it means that you have to take it seriously. Typically, our hosts follow suit and they follow our leadership. So if you stay on top of her with giving her information, with keeping her excited, engaged, and informed, she's going to pass that motivation and that energy and match it to send along to her friends. And then, of course, any of our regular host coaching rules apply to your virtual event. My biggest tip for success online is to run your virtual parties the exact same way that you're running your home parties. It's really just on a different platform. There's no big strategies that are different. There are some technical things, and we're going through them as we go through this training. But I really want you to get over the fear of doing online events because you think that you're not social savvy enough or you don't know how to create awesome video. It's really no more than following the same host coaching, the same preparation, but doing it on Facebook Live versus doing it in person. Okay, so the interesting thing about virtual events for EBW, and the fun part about it, is that it's actually going to be a two-tiered system. If you are hoping to sell bras during your virtual events, you will have to complete virtual fittings. Now, we have a whole separate training on this that you guys have gone through and that you've seen and you know about, so I won't go into it too much here. But I suggest that when you are hosting a virtual event, that you do the virtual fittings before the evening of the party. And this is for a variety of reasons. The most important being, it will help with attendance. If you put in the work beforehand to get these people virtually fit, then when you are marketing the event, you can say things like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to show you guys the Abbey. Then you can tag some of the guests and say, guys, this particular style of bra is the one that I'm going to recommend to you guys. I'm going to talk about all the Abbey benefits on Wednesday at 9 p.m. So make sure that you guys show up. Or maybe that, you had a virtual fitting with somebody and the Cassie would be the best fit for them. Or they mentioned something about wanting to get more sports bras or to have something for their anniversary night. Then during the pre-party posts, you can post those things in there to get them excited and engaged. Plus, you're letting them know that you are taking this seriously and you are creating an experience specifically for them. Remember, this is a service. This isn't just a way for you to hop on Facebook Live and market your products. You want to make sure that you're serving the guests and that you are creating a specific experience for them and you're recommending products that are best for them. So scheduling your virtual fittings in advance will really help you with more of that evening night of engagement. So to help you schedule your virtual fittings, You can use a graphic that we've created for you to promote the days and times that you are available for your fittings. My biggest tip here is to be in control of your own schedule. You don't have to just accept any single time and day of when people want to do a virtual fitting with you. Remember, you need to offer what times and days you are available. Imagine you called your hairdresser and you said, I'm looking for an appointment. And they're like, well, when do you want to come in? All of a sudden you're looking at your entire week. You're not quite sure what to offer. And then maybe you pick something that's inconvenient for them. Instead, you can say, okay, ladies, in 2 weeks from now, we are going to be hosting our EBW virtual party, but I'm going to be scheduling my virtual fittings. I do all my virtual fittings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I have listed the times for you in this graphic. Be sure to comment below which time you would like to book. Give them, an estimate of how long it'll take, what it entails, anything that they need, but be in control of your own calendar. Now, like I mentioned, you learned more about virtual fittings and other training, so I'm not going to go into it here, but you can use things like the online quiz or questionnaire. You could do video conferencing, hop on something like FaceTime with them, or go on Facebook video with them, or something like Skype, or whatever your personally preferred method is for doing your virtual fittings. But like I said, my suggestion is to get these done first. You will need these done in order to fit them into the bra that is best suited for them. If you wait until after, their excitement starts to fade. So it's important to get this done and out of the way first before you show them all the exciting products. Okay, so now that you have your virtual event or party set up, whether it's in the group or an event or on something like Squee or another platform like Zoom, it's time to really start prepping for the party. My biggest suggestion when it comes to thinking about how to gain a lot of interest at the party is to create a theme to draw more attention. For example, you could do a party like your best bra friend, how to find your perfect everyday bra. And then maybe your focus on that particular party is just getting women into a bra that you know that they'll use every single day. You want to create a theme for a variety of reasons. Like I said, it's going to help create a lot more interest in getting people to show up versus if you just call it essential bodywear virtual party or EBW virtual party. You need to tell people why they need to care about this, and that will really come in with the title. Now, another reason why I say this is I'll actually share a story with you. I remember when I was working corporately for a direct sales company, a bunch of ladies and I from my office decided to host a direct sales party, kind of like a supper club. So every single month, we would host a party in each of our homes and we would experience different companies and so on and so forth. I remember the first party we went to, it was a great success. We had a lot of fun and it really solidified for us that we definitely wanted to be hosting this direct sales club every single month because we get together and plus we get introduced to products that really make a difference in our lives. At the end of the party, when I was driving home, I thought about what that consultant or rep could have done a little differently. Because while she got us really excited, she got us excited enough that we wanted to work with other companies. But the problem was she showed us all of her cards. She did a really general party. She went through the entire catalog. And as a guest at the event, I decided very quickly what I needed and what I didn't. And as soon as I decided what I didn't need, I completely moved on from it and closed myself off from doing more business with her. I was looking towards who the next company would be or the next type of product would be. Now, if I would have gone back and coached her throughout that process to help her get continuous amounts of sales from us over time, I would have told her because we were girls from work, she should create a package that was specifically for us. So taking us from our home to the office because she knew that we had that in common. She could have bundled together, 3 to 5 products. We could have tacked on a few other things during our checkout process with her. But for the most part, she would have gotten probably the same amount of sales, if not more, but we still would have felt like there was a lot more products and opportunity for us to go through. That way she could have scheduled, maybe a home organization party with us, or she could have scheduled something about maybe for the gym or working out, because this was an organizational and bag company. So if she would have been a little bit more specific with what she was offering and how she was talking to us, then it would have been a lot better for her in the long run. When it comes to events and doing business with our customers, sometimes we need to delay that instant gratification. We don't want to lay all our cards on the table. I remember actually when I was in the field and I was about to do my first home party, Belinda Ellsworth gave me my best piece of advice, and she told me to forget my catalog. She said, people don't know what they don't know, and they're going to get overwhelmed. They absolutely, in one day, do not need everything that your catalog offers. Instead, find out as much as you can about them and offer specific packages tailored to them. So I did. I offered 3 packages at every party, and my communication and language at the end of my presentation was always, so ladies, what package will you be going with tonight? We have package 1, which is our starter basic introduction to the company. 2, which is your everyday package, which is going to get you through your everyday looks. Or we have package 3, which has, a few more fun things added in there and a few extras. That way, people were always gravitating towards a package. My per person sale increased, which meant what? My party averages increased, and I was making significantly more money. So if you can create a theme around every event, you're going to get a lot more engagement, interest, and sales. Now, a way to do this is you want to make sure that you're starting to create relationships with the guests prior to the event. That means you want to ask them about, what do they wear in a day? Ask them to walk them through their day. You'll be able to find out, are they active? Do they all go to the same boot camp or gym? Are they all moms, young moms? Are they nursing? Are they wearing t-shirts every day or blouses? And so on and so forth. The more you can find out about them, you're going to be able to create more catered experiences. And of course, not only should you be doing this before the party in the event or group that you've set up by asking questions in posts, these are also questions that you will want to make sure that you ask during your virtual fitting. Another thing to prep for the party to get them excited is to hop on Facebook Live to introduce yourself and let them know how the event will work. Just give them a really quick rundown, introduce yourself, explain what Essential Bodywear is and why you're so excited to work with them. Be sure to highlight many of the benefits of working with you instead of going to a department store, and let them know that they're not alone in their fear or some of their negative self-talk when it comes to buying intimates. It's why a lot of women have the same bras in their underwear drawer for years, because they don't want to go through the process of buying a new one, because it can sometimes be a very overwhelming experience. So let them know why you're there, why it's super fun, and absolutely why they need to attend. The more questions that you can ask the guests during the preparation period, the better. That way you get to know them and you're establishing what? Trust and likability, because we all know that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. You can also market your event using a combination of photos, before and afters, testimonials, and video. You want to make sure that you ramp this up 3 to 5 days before. Posting the before and afters of them wearing their regular bra with someone wearing one of the EBW bras is one of my favorite ways. I am constantly astounded by the results, and people want to see that. Sometimes we don't know we have a problem until somebody points it out for us. And majority of the time, women look so much more confident. They're standing taller. They look a lot more put together, and they just seem overall so much happier when they're in an EBW bra. So posting those before and afters, those testimonials, and a lot of those different videos can be really helpful in getting them excited about the event. It will also help them sign up for the virtual fittings, because they know what some of the things that they can expect, and they are going to want to get fit because they already know that they're excited about some of the products that you're going to be talking about that evening. And of course, make sure everyone has completed their virtual fitting. This is going to be majority of the prep work, is doing that host coaching and making sure that everybody has their virtual fitting. When you're working with your host, when it comes to virtual events as well, you want to encourage her to keep the party on the smaller side. We all know the feeling of when we get invited to an event and 100 other people have also been invited to it. We know right away it's just a numbers game. Sherry doesn't really care if I'm there or not. Sherry didn't specifically think of me for this occasion. She's just trying to invite a lot of people that she thinks may or may not be interested, or she's just going down her Facebook friends list. Not only does it make the guests not feel good, it's not good for you. Why? Because it's going to require a lot more of your time, the bigger your party is, for your virtual fittings. So it is my recommendation that you try to keep these smaller, anywhere from 4 to 10 people is going to be ideal. Again, you want them to know that this is an intimate service that you really care about and that you take seriously. It's not just a way for you to get the product in front of as many eyes as possible. You want to find as many customers as possible. So if you can have more frequent, intimate conversations with these guests prior to, leading up to, the night of the event, and even after, the better your sales will be. Okay, so now that we have marketed the event, we have people showing up, we've completed our virtual fittings, we are now at the night of the party. And so I wanted to make sure that I went through some of my best tips for the night of the party here. Number one, you'll definitely want to start at 8 or 9 p.m. The reason being, any earlier and people are much too busy to hop on their phones. When people come home from work, they're doing dinner, maybe they're running some errands, they're running to a workout class, or if they're a parent, they typically have a lot of responsibilities when they get home with their kids, whether it's homework or just family time, or bringing them to any of their sports, dance, or extracurricular activities. When you host it too early, the chances of them showing up live are going to be a lot more slim than if you push it till 8 or 9. We also know that social media activity peaks at 9 p.m. This is because people are going into what? Their downtime. They're more likely to scroll through their phone, pay a little bit more attention rather than just checking in while they're in line at the grocery store or waiting in their car to pick up their child after school. So starting at 8 or 9 p.m. is definitely the times that you will want to make sure that you host every virtual event. Of course, before you actually go live, you want to make sure your setup is ready to go. Make sure you have great lighting. Your background is what you want it to be. Really, you'll only need to clean what the camera sees. So don't think that you need to clean or tidy your entire house before a virtual event. Just set up your camera and look at what the background is. If you want to add any marketing in the background, you are free to do that as well. Of course, make sure you are dressed. And so forth. If you have any questions about how you should be setting up, should you invest in a ring light, and so forth, be sure to reach out to your leader, as they are a wealth of knowledge about virtual events and can assist you with any of this setup and preparation. One of my really great tips as well is to have 2 different devices handy. One to film and one so you can read comments and engage. So say, for example, you want to be a little bit further back. Maybe you're going to be sharing one of the ready-to-wear items and you want to show all the different ways that it can be worn. You're not going to be sitting very close to your device, so you won't be able to see those comments that are coming in live. My suggestion is to always use something like your iPad or your laptop to film. Put that a little bit further away from you, and then have your phone handy beside you so you can keep up with the comments. You can also reverse it and film from your phone and have your laptop beside you, whatever you feel most comfortable with. So when you're starting the party, what you're going to do is you're going to hop on Facebook Live. So I do suggest the day of the party doing a few different countdown posts, let them know that, remind them it's tonight, maybe give them an hour reminder, and then give them another 15-minute reminder post. Now, when you go on Facebook Live, this is going to be one of the most important sections, your opening talk. We have created a script for you for all of your Facebook Lives, as is a portion of your Facebook Live that you will absolutely want to memorize. A strong opening talk is vital because on social media, especially on Facebook, people decide very quickly whether or not they're going to watch your video. Now, even though with our virtual events, we want as many people live as possible, we're still going to get replay viewers. And let's say that Mary Beth can't make it the night of the party and she wants to tune in the next day, or maybe she gets home late. If she hops on your video and you're just sitting there and maybe you're saying something like, hey, everybody, just, waiting for people to get on, or maybe you're rustling around trying to still get things ready, she's not going to continue to sit through the live video with you. So it's important that as soon as you click go live, that you are ready and you're talking right away. So what you might say is something along the lines of, hey everybody, welcome. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight. My name is Lindsay Tompkins and I am your local bra lady. I'm really excited and big thank you to Anne for hosting tonight. I can't wait to show you guys all the products that have been specifically picked out for you by me. Now, if you're watching this, you may be a replay viewer because you couldn't show up live. I know there's a few of you, like Samantha and Charlotte, who couldn't get on live with us tonight. Don't worry, this video is going to stay here, and I want to make sure that I still gave you your recommendations and you got to see all of the awesome other products that I'm going to be offering tonight. So if you are watching this after the event, comment below right now. Let me know so I can come back to the video and continue to interact with you. I answer all of the comments. So it's really important that when you open that Facebook Live that you talk right away and you introduce yourself and welcome replay viewers. It will take about 60 to 90 seconds for Facebook to push your Facebook Live out as a notification. And oftentimes too, we say the party starts at 8 and people are not getting on until maybe 8:02, 8:03. So it's important that we don't just try to kill time. We just start talking to the replay viewers right away. By that point, once you've pretty much welcomed them and said, hey, make sure you're still commenting below because I'm going to go back and talk to you, your live viewers are getting on, and especially your host. Thank her again, start welcoming people by name, and then you'll go back into your introduction. So you'll say one more time, all right, ladies, super excited to get started. As you know, I'm Lindsay Tompkins, your local bra lady, and I'm really excited today to talk to you guys about the products that you definitely need in your wardrobe for everyday use. Now, we've done these virtual fittings together, so I have some really, really great products that I've pulled out specifically for you guys that I wanted to make sure that you guys saw. I also heard from most of you that a lot of you have events coming up. We're going into the summer months. I know there's a lot of weddings. So I've pulled some of my favorite strapless bras as well that I wanted to make sure that I showed to all of you. Then you go into your presentation. You want to make sure that there's not any dead air and you're always talking to people and letting them know how personal the experience is. The more you say their names, the more likely they are to stay because they know that you're acknowledging their attendance and they're less likely to just, swipe off. So now that you've done your introduction, you want to go into your product presentation. Because you've already done your virtual fittings, be sure to talk specifically about the bras that are best for the women in the group. If everybody is better off in the Abbey, then don't waste too much time or any time at all talking about something like the Cassie, for example. You want to talk to them, say, okay, all of you ladies, super cool. You all fit perfectly for the Abbey, and I'm going to talk about it right now. And then you can go into some of the benefits of the Abbey, why it's a really great choice for them, and so forth. This is also the perfect opportunity to show off additional products that you have, like our ready-to-wear. Now, if you're working with a host that already maybe, let's say, is in the bras, or you're working with customers, maybe you're doing your monthly virtual party in your VIP group, you don't have to schedule all those virtual fittings. You either have their sizes and maybe you talk about some of the new products, or You can skip the bras and talk about all the other amazing products that we have. We are not just a bra company. So it's a really great way. Maybe you're like, you know what? I prefer to do my bra fittings in person. I want to keep that more of an in-person experience. Make sure that you go through the current catalog and see all of the amazing products and options and items that we still have available that you can cut out the virtual fitting. Say for whatever reason, you're working with a host and you're trying to get these virtual fittings scheduled and nobody's showing up or they're really not participating, then just skipping some of the bras, maybe you focus just on the Abby, let them know how it's really great for everybody, some more of the more popular products, and then focus more on the ready wear. That way you're still maximizing the opportunity. And like I mentioned earlier, be sure to sell in bundles and packages. Go check out the awesome page in the catalog that has all of the packages there. Pick out a few of them that work best for the guests that you're working with and showcase those there for them. I needed to make sure that I also mentioned this part, the booking and the recruiting talk. Do not skip this just because you're online. Run your virtual parties just like your live ones. Be sure to talk about the benefits of working with you in person or becoming the bra babe in their area. If you have any additional questions on how to integrate this into your events and parties, be sure to contact your sponsor, your upline, or your leader. Okay, the last part that I really wanted to make sure that I focused on was how to close a party. I have watched direct sellers do hundreds of parties, and I have taught thousands of consultants across the entire industry how to execute live Facebook parties successfully. Now, when I watch other people do it, they do a great job throughout the entire process, typically until this area. This is where most people seem to struggle. They do a really great presentation. They've done a lot of great host coaching. They're getting to know their guests. They're engaging. They're having fun, but they don't know how to close the sale. You can absolutely post the link to the website to have them place their order. But my favorite way of closing, especially when you're working with people online, is to do a valet checkout. Now, when we're at a home event, we have what I like to call the kitchen table experience. And this is where you will sit down with them and you will do a full service checkout, meaning you are going to help them and assist them with their order, upsell, so find out more about what they need or what they have going on. You want to offer the option to host a party with you. You want to see if they are interested in taking home any information about the opportunity, and you want to invite them to join your VIP group. Because you don't have this interaction online, we need to create it. Like I mentioned at the very beginning of this training, you want to emulate the aspects of your live events and put them into your Facebook and virtual events. Because you know that the strategies worked. Even when I was in the field, I had a really hard time closing events and parties and getting the sales that I was getting in person. And I knew it's because I wasn't able to sit down with each guest and assist them with their order. So I started doing what I call valet checkouts, which really means is you hop on the phone with them or just get in their DMs and you assist them. That way you can do a full service checkout and not just say, oh, and if you're ready to order, go to the website and here's how you can place your order. You can do things over the phone with them. They can just give you their credit card information over the phone. And then you get that opportunity to upsell and have a lot more conversation with them. So how to schedule these is to use a graphic, and we've actually created one for you. And all you're going to do is you're going to post in some different times. My suggestion is to do them about every 15 minutes. And let's say, for example, you did the party at 8 o'clock and it went about until 9. You're going to start your valet checkouts at like 9, 9:15, 9:30, 9:45, 10, and maybe you offer a 10:15. Depends how many people you have there. Now, you don't want to go too late because people aren't going to wait up that long to talk to you. So I like to add times over the lunch hour of the next day as well. It's really important that you have strong follow-up right after the party with all of the guests. And if you're keeping your Facebook parties or your virtual parties smaller in size, 4 to 10 people, it should be really easy for you to quickly hop on the phone with them. Especially if you've already done virtual fittings with them, they're really comfortable with you. They've already dealt with you one-on-one. It's very easy for them to hop on the phone and you can say, okay, great, Amanda. So we did your virtual fitting. We went through all the different preferences or the items that are specific for you. Definitely want to get you in the Abby. That is going to be the one that you love hands down. Wanted to talk to you about some of those bundles. Which one do you feel like you're going to go with? Okay, perfect. So what did you think about some of the ready-to-wear items? Or, what did you think about this? Or maybe do you want to grab that in a different color? And so on and so forth. When you have that conversation and a casual conversation, you're going to see your sales exponentially increase, because we don't want to just make our customers and our guests learn how to navigate our website. And like I mentioned, they just really don't know what they don't know. So I wanted to show you real quick these graphics and show you how to add them into something like Canva or WordSwag to add the times. Okay, so here we are on Canva, canva.com. It's one of my favorite free design apps. However, I will mention it's really only good on desktop, so if you're working from your computer. Otherwise, I definitely suggest using an app like WordSwag on your phone. Now, say you're going to want to create your valet post. So you can click social media and it will open up a predetermined size for you. You guys can go through Canva. There's a variety of different templates in there. So we're just going to go ahead and delete these. I'm just clicking the delete key. You can also click up here, this garbage can. I'm going to go to the upload section. I'm going to upload an image. Let's take Valet 4. We've created a few of them for you. All right, once this is finished uploading, so you'll see it's going the bar all the way across. Once it's done, that bar will go away. Okay, we're going to pull this over. So all you're going to do is you're just going to pull it up to size. Okay, so now that we've pulled this up, all you're going to do is you're going to click this T here, and this is going to give you some text. So we'll grab this one. Let's change the font. There are a variety of free Canva tutorials as well if you want to learn how to use this entire app. Let's just click Helvetica for now. Make this a little bit bigger. Let's bold it. And let's say we're hosting on a Wednesday evening. Let's say it's Wednesday, June 12th. We are going to put some of our times. We're going to put 9 p.m., 9:15 p.m., 9:30 p.m., 9:45, 10, 10:15, and let's end that one there. Okay, so we're just going to pull this one up. Okay, let's actually make it a little smaller. Seems small on the screen, but it will be a lot bigger when we download it. Okay, if you want to click that, go up in the right-hand corner, click copy. Okay, we're going to pull that beside it. Let's change this to Thursday, June 13th. And let's give some different times. And let's say you're available at 10 a.m., 10:30. Maybe you do something from 11 to 12, so you don't do that. You go 12 p.m., 12:15. This is really great for people who are on their lunch hour at work. Okay, so this could be as simple as your valet checkout. You'll just click download. It will prepare your design for you. It will automatically download to your computer. And there you go. You can easily take this valet checkout and you can post it into your event or your group, wherever you're hosting your Facebook party. So when you are completing your presentation, you can just say, okay, guys, I'm going to hop off Facebook Live in just a minute, and I'm going to post my valet checkout times. Explain to them what the valet checkout is. It's essentially just this VIP concierge service of where they can just do the order over the phone with you. Post the catalog link so that they can go through the catalog, see any other products that we have. It's also a great option to do that as well before the party, leading up to it. Post the catalog so they can look at all the products, and then have them comment below on the post to claim their time. To encourage this, you could always say anybody who commits to their time this evening will get 2 points into a draw. If you commit to it tomorrow, you get 1 point, etc. Just to encourage some more of that engagement. But this is exactly how you can add in your times. You'll be able to do this on the bra fitting graphic and image as well. And if you prefer to do any of this on mobile, you can add this and do pretty much the exact same thing in the app Word Swag. Again, if you have any questions about some of these little technical things, be sure to reach out to your leader. They know how to do this, and they will help guide you throughout the process. Okay, so that is our Virtual Parties 7-step system and template. Regardless of where you want to host your virtual events and parties, this strategy is amazing for helping you engage, get to know your clients, as well as how to close the sale. So some of the next steps that you should do right now are make a list of all the people that you think would be interested in this service. I also want you to go into your VIP group and schedule one for this month. Let them know that you're going to be doing one every single month to let them know about new products that we have and to continuously engage them. You're going to host this on Facebook Live in your group, so you make sure to market it. And then finally, reach out to your leader for more information. Thanks, guys, and have an amazing, amazing day.